Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Perpetual here. If you're new, you're warmly welcome. And thank you all so much for joining me today as we make some delicious eto. Come along and let's get started. The usual measurements are in the description box below. For my eto today, I'm using slightly ripe plantains and I'm going to peel them and cut them and bring it to a boil. With eto, another option that you can use is a yam, but for today, I'm going the plantain route. And my eto must always go with eggs, so I'm adding some to my plantains to boil together. And I've added some habanero peppers and some salt to taste. And I'm gonna cover it and cook it for about 10 to 15 minutes before we start the actual eto. I'm going to remove my plantains and mash it. For this step, I'm using asanka or ayewa. However, if you do not have access to this, you can use a food processor, but you want to make sure that you pulse it. You don't want to blend it or else the plantain will become very gummy. Once I finish mashing it roughly, I'm going to transfer it into a separate bowl and let it cool down a bit. While my plantain cools down, I'm going to get started by adding my habanero peppers or scotch bonnet with some onions and a bit of salt, and I'm going to grind it until it is nice and smooth. After it gets nice and smooth, I'm adding some fermented fish or momone to my pepper mix, and I'll also be adding in some roasted peanuts or ground nuts, and I will mix that into the pepper until it is nice and smooth. I actually don't get it too smooth because I don't mind the texture, but if you want a really smooth paste, feel free to make it as smooth as you would like. At this point, I'm going to set our pepper mix aside and get started on our palm oil. So I'm just pouring that into a hot pot, and I will be adding some onions and fermented fish again or momone once the oil warms up. And this mix is going to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on medium to high heat, and then I'll get back to putting my eto together. Alright, so I'm just going to pour my plantain mix into my asanka, and I'm going to give it a quick stir just to get the pepper mixed into the plantain before I start mashing it. Alright, this part can take about 2 to 3 minutes. You just mash it until the plantain is nice and smooth. Like I said earlier, it can take a few minutes for you to get this part really well done. Once you get it close to your desired consistency, pour some of your oil into it and keep mashing. And at this point, it is almost done. Just a few more seconds of mashing. And once I'm done, I like to use my hands to fluff it up a bit, just to give it a little bit more texture and to make it more visually appealing. And I don't know what it is, but at this point, I always sneak a little bite. Quality control, you know? But our eto is almost done. I always love to garnish it with lots of roasted groundnut or peanuts. And I also like to add my boiled eggs. I'm only slicing it today so that my kids don't bother me with, "Mommy, I want a piece," when I'm eating it. So I'm slicing it up for them. And I will be adding a little bit of avocado as well. And you can never have too much peanuts on your eto. So of course, I ended up adding a little bit more at the end. And I think it is perfect. And my loves, that is it. Our eto is ready to be served. It looks amazing, and let me tell you, it tasted amazing. I cannot wait for you to try this. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section when you try this amazing recipe out. And as always, please remember to subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend about my amazing channel. Thank you all so much for coming along with me on this delicious journey. Take care, guys.